When the rains had stopped today and it dried out, so I spent the day grinding up leaves and sitting on the tractor. And man, what a dusty mess that is. I mean, I just got out of the shower because I was covered with those leaf grindings and that powder, you know. But I got, you know, they were real thick over here, they were real thick over there. The back behind the pond was terrible. So there was a lot of work, but I got it done. Now, you know, the leaves haven't even really started to turn color yet here. Some of them have, but for the most part, you know, they're still pretty green. So I think the peak color for autumn in Ohio is in a couple weeks. So right now you're just starting to see the leaves turning a little bit of color, but within a couple weeks they'll be, you know, at their peak, and then they all drop. So I'll be grinding up leaves again. But the new tractor, the TS 354XD, is working very well. It has the 52-inch mower deck, which is a lot nicer. I mean, I can cut a nice wide swath with that, and it cuts down my mowing time considerably. Man, it did a great job of grinding up leaves. But on the other story, the bike, as you can see, I got a new kickstand, and that ended up costing me, I think the whole assembly was, well, it wasn't even the whole assembly, it was just the kickstand and the bolt. Ended up being $175. Now, I called the local dealer and they said, no, we don't carry anything like that in stock. We'd have to order it, and it would take probably over a week before we get it. So I thought, well, I don't want to wait a week because I still had a appointment to ride, and I wanted my kickstand on as soon as possible. So I talked to another mechanic, and he said, you don't want to order a kickstand online. You don't want to order an OEM kickstand online. He said that, you know, the part that broke on mine, he said it's kind of a weak link on those kickstands, and he said if you get the OEM parts, they're even weaker than the original equipment. So he said make sure you get original equipment. He said, I'm just telling you from experience, don't try to cut corners and, you know, get a cheaper version. And really the OEM weren't that much cheaper. You're only going to save maybe 10, maybe $20, so you might as well just pay for it. Now the problem is, you know, you look at this picture that I had taken, that little square piece on the end is all part of the shaft. It's all integral part of the shaft, and that part had broken off, and that's what holds that stop piece in position, so that when you put your kickstand down, it's locked. Now without that piece, you'd put your kickstand down and your bike could either roll forward or backwards. There wouldn't be anything to hold the kickstand in place there. And you could see your bike dropping over on its side. So, you know, somebody had said, you know, why don't you just drill the old bolt out and put a new one in? Well, that was my original idea, but the square end on that was gone. And without that, there's no way to lock that kickstand. So I had no choice but to buy a whole new one. And hey, it is what it is. Sometimes you just got to bite the bullet. Now, as far as putting it back on, it went on pretty easy. I had the bike up on the lift, and it's, you know, it slid. First, you got to hook the spring up before you put it up in there. You hook the spring up, and then you put the kickstand up in the receiver, put the little stop bracket on there, and then tighten the bolt up. Well, you put a little bit of blue Loctite in there, and then you tighten the bolt up, because those have been known to vibrate themselves loose over time. So now it's fixed, kickstand's on, new kickstand. And I pray I don't have any other mishaps like I had, the other day. Maybe it's God telling me that, maybe those parties aren't the right thing for you. I mean, when you go to a party and people are drinking, you're taking a risk that somebody's going to damage your equipment somehow or another. It's just the risk you take when you do something like, of course, any kind of a party, even if you had a family gathering, you still got the same kind of risk that something could get scratched or damaged, or somebody could, run into something. But like I said, things happen. So what are you going to do? So anyway, I got the bike cleaned up a little bit. I got the bugs off of the front end, and it's looking pretty good, and it's ready to roll again. It's a full-time job trying to keep a bike clean when you ride it every day. You got to really put some work. You got to spend some time on it. And the fact that I was doing a lot of riding and goofing around, I slacked on some of my other responsibilities, and then it started pouring down rain all week, and I couldn't get anything done with the yard and the garden that I was supposed to do. So then that put me even more behind. But hey, you get that. I still have some firewood to haul up to the front porch. I've been working on it a little bit every day. Not giving it a full-time job that it needs to be, but I've got this up here so far. Now, a cord of wood is 4 foot high, so somewhere in here, this is pushing more like 5 foot up here. It's 8 foot long, which is going to come to about here. And it's 4 foot wide, so we're probably looking at 4 foot. Probably another row would definitely be 4 foot. So by the time I move all that wood up here onto the front porch, I'm gonna have well over a cord. So my firewood guy always does me righteous. I mean, I pay for a cord of wood and he gives me like a cord and a half. And I can't go wrong with that because he gave me some really good wood this year. I've got, this cherry. You see the cherry color. I've got this ash, which is beautiful burning stuff. There's even some oak in here. Good stuff. Probably even some elm. But it's a good load of firewood. I'm really happy with it, and it's going to keep me warm this winter. I'm already looking forward to springtime when the last bit of snow melts off the ground. This week turns October, and another month or two we're going to be in winter, and winters are really long around here. They just go on forever, and you just can't wait for winter to get over. I mean, I just get the doldrums in winter. It's cold. I got to keep the wood burner going. I can't ride the motorcycle, so that cuts down on some of my social activities, and it just gets to be really hard. I finally took the fence down around the garden. I haven't mowed it yet, but I'll run the mower over it and grind all this stuff up. As you can see, I still have a lot of jalapenos there, but once they turn red, the Scoville level goes through the ceiling. And then my green peppers here, nice big healthy plants, and I still have a couple of green peppers on there that I can pick. But I have a whole bunch of them in the house too, so I should make stuffed peppers or something like that. You see the yellow squash out there laying around. They got overripe. You really should pick those when they're young and the skin is still smooth on them. Once the skin turns bumpy like that, the fruit inside of them is like dry, and they're mostly seed on the inside. Sunflowers are about done. I got one little baby sunflower still coming on up there, and there's a few seeds still in some of these, so the birds have been pecking away at the seeds, so I haven't pulled these last 4 plants out yet, but those will be gone pretty soon too. The deer ate the remains of my last zucchini. They ate all the leaves off of it, and there was one zucchini growing on there, and they ate it too. They ate the whole zucchini, so that's gone. Sun's going down on this day, so I'm gonna head in, fix something to eat. Tomorrow's another day. This is a task that I've dreaded for a while. Cleaning the picture window. In the past, I put the ladder up, climbed up on the back porch roof, cleaned the window, had to carry my window washing stuff back down again. And it was one of the neighbor ladies who said, why don't you just climb out the window? Well, I had this cat tree set up, and this ledge was screwed on here, so it was like impossible to get out that window. But I thought, well, I put that thing on, I can take it off. So that's what I did. I took that off, opened the window, out on the porch roof, and cleaned the windows. I bought this window cleaning kit a while ago. It's a nice wide bucket. It's got this mop type thing on the end and a squeegee on the other end. And then I put some warm Dawn dish liquid in there, and it works really well. It cleans the windows really nice. So I've got the big window done. There's just a few little specks on there that didn't come off, but for the most part, way better. I can look out at the backyard now without seeing that the bug spots all over it and the cat snot, because the cat liked to lay on the back of this chair and sneeze on the window, so it was a mess. These grills are removable, and these side windows are the only ones that have the grills on them, but these grills are a pain in the neck. They're plastic, and they have these little prongs on them that have to fit into those little holes, and you have to like bend them and spring them into place, and you're putting one in and another one pops out, and they're just a big pain in the neck. But anyway, let's get this last set of windows clean. I had the mop hanging on the side of the barrel, so most of the liquid has drained off of there, so that I don't get water all over the loft area up here. But I will take this, and you see the snot up there, so we'll just scrub this down with the solution. Get this one too. The only problem with cleaning these windows, this is so clear what's going to happen, probably within the next couple days, is that a bird is going to slam into this and leave a big snot mark or bloody beak mark on the window. The next thing I do is I take my squeegee, and it just scrapes everything right down. And then I'll take a rag and just kind of go around the edges and clean that up. I see some kind of a goo on there. Oh, it must be from the tree that was there. It's like a sap. That rubber tree puts out a real nasty sap. And look at this window too. Super easy with the squeegee, no messing around. makes window washing a breeze. And there you go. Those are clean. Now I got to put the darn grills back in. And that's done. You know, these are old Anderson windows. And some of the newer models, you can actually, like, fold the window out to clean the outside of it. You don't even have to go outside. These are older models, though. The tracks, they aren't made to come out of the track. So I just have to go outside and do it. But that job's done. Now I can move my furniture back, put my rubber plant back in place, and maybe vacuum up a little bit too while I'm up here. You know, it's Saturday, it's housework day. What can I say? I got to keep up on things around here. Otherwise, it's going to start to look like a slum. Well, there you go. The loft is clean. The window is clean. That window is a job I was dreading. I've been putting it off for a while. I think if V was here, she's looking down on me, giving me the thumbs up. She's pleased today. She always liked to keep a clean house. In fact, sometimes I always said she was OCD about it because she would have me cleaning house almost every morning. You know, we had to go through this whole routine. So now, when it's just me, not so much. And I procrastinate on certain things like that window until it gets really bad and I can't stand it anymore. And then I take care of it. The other thing I had to do this morning was water all my plants. I've got my Spidey plant there. I got this rubber tree here that kind of hangs over the rail. And I've got the big one over there by the window. And they're like my pets, you know. I mean, you got to take care of them. If you don't, they die. So today, every Saturday, I water all my plants. It's another chore I got. I got a philodendron up there. I've got this nasty thing here that I need to figure out what I'm going to do with because I don't like it. I've got another philodendron up here with English ivy. I've got this English ivy that's in the shape of a heart. This violet, African violet, that's never ever blossomed, but I still nurture it regardless. And then if we go into the back rooms here, I moved the big fern. This was out on the back deck, so I moved it in here. I've got what's left of the cactus starting back up here. Remember the big cactus I had on the back deck? That's it. I repotted it with one paddle, and it's sprouted back up. I've got Christmas cactus back here. Another Christmas cactus. By the way, the Christmas cactus is getting ready to bloom. There's a blossom right there that's getting ready to open up, which is crazy. And then this strawberry plant that had died, and I'm getting it back to life again. And this thing, I don't know what it's called, but it trails all the way down to the floor. And this was a lily that Val's son bought for her. It doesn't stand up, it falls over. And well, some of it's up here in the curtain, as you can see. But it has never really bloomed either. Back in this bedroom, I've got another Christmas cactus, and it has some little buds on there, so it's going to be blooming pretty soon. I have another spider plant up here, just kind of hasn't really put out any tendrils or anything. And then I've got another philodendron here that is trailing all over the place. And aside from that, I had my 2 hanging baskets out there on the back deck and my basil plant there in the pail. Those had to be watered every day over the summer. They're on their last leg though. Summer's over. The basil's done, and the big hanging basket on the front porch, it's already croaked. I had to take it down. These 2 are still hanging on, but we'll see how long they last. I don't give them too much longer. As soon as we get a frost or something like that, they're gone. Well, now that the housework's done, I still got a load of wood to keep hauling up here to the porch. You need to do that before the weather turns sour. But I think it's a beautiful day. I'm going to have to get in the wind a little bit here and get up on 2 wheels. I'm going to pull the Ultra out and take a spin, and then tomorrow the Ultra's coming out in the morning and I'm going to ride. So thanks for watching today, cats. I appreciate your support. Thanks for your comments, always supportive and wonderful, uplifting stuff, and I appreciate that very much. If you liked the video, hit the like button, and if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do that for me, and enjoy watching more of these wonderful adventures in housework. Yeah, now we'll get some more riding in before the weather really turns sour. So until next time, cats, I'll catch you all later.